you're a professional?
Are you?
That's it, Clark. Show him who's boss.
Oh, we're all in this together.
Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to the Clark Griswold YouTube channel. I am Mr. Clark Griswold. Thank you guys for being here for this video today. If you are new to the channel or new to the strat, then welcome to you guys. We are about to change the way that you guys trade. Okay, if you haven't done so below, you can click that subscribe button and then hit that bell. That bell gives you the notifications for when I send out videos like this one every single day. This is our watch list for Thursday, June 2nd. I send out videos like this every day. I send out top 5 watch lists every day. I send out weekly swings, monthly swings, informational videos, motivational videos. I've got a plethora of learning tools for you guys, including I got a 4-part video playlist on the hashtag 30 and 30. I've got a video on Sarah Strat Sniper's 50% rule, how to trade 3-1 bars, how we trade double inside bars like you see here, how to trade single inside bars, outside bars, what these numbers mean on the candlesticks, what the candlestick patterns are, broadening formations, okay? I've got about 200 plus videos for you guys to scan through and go through to help you guys learn what the strat is. And trust me when I say this, it is the easiest strategy you guys will ever come across. And you can also find me on Twitter at Mr. Clark Griswold. Give me a follow there, and you can ask me anything there, guys. Comment there, DM me there. There's no dumb or silly questions. Everybody has the questions, and you're trying to learn. So don't worry if it seems silly to you. I will answer it. I'll help you guys out. You can also comment down below on any single one of my YouTube videos, or you can subscribe here as well by clicking this little Clark Griswold face. Okay, so if you like what I'm doing, make sure you guys do subscribe and hit that thumbs up. So let's get started on our watch list for Thursday, January 2nd. And we'll start with Nextera Energy. This is a play that I had on for today as a 3-1 setup, but we ended up having this double inside bar. Okay, so we stayed inside the range, or in the strat, we call it a 1 candle. So an inside bar or a 1 candle does not break the high or the low of the previous candle. It stays within the range. And you can see we did that here. You can see we did that here on this inside bar, stayed within the range. Okay, this 3-1 pattern setup is rare. This double inside bar pattern is even more rare. So if we go back in time and try and find the last time there was a double inside bar, we have one right here, it looks like. Let's go see how it played out on NEE. Inside bar, there we go. Okay, and we are on the daily chart when I give you guys these setups for our daily watch list. So here's that double inside bar, and the last one we had was July 2021. Okay, so almost a year ago. So we had this inside bar followed by this inside bar right here, and then we had this nice run up for 3 days. Okay, 1, 2, 3. This would have made a lot of money when we're talking about options, and even from here, from 72.95 all the way up to the top at 74.51 in common shares, you would have made a couple bucks per share on that over the 3 days. But let's go back to our current setup. This double inside bar on NEE. We can take calls on this one at 76.61 or puts at 75.33. These are our trigger lines. I'll put in the targets for you guys here. And I make my targets always the same color. They're always green. So there's target 1, target 2, target 1, and target 2. And the targets are just the tops of the preceding wicks or the bottom of the preceding wick. So the next one would not be here because it's higher than this one here. So the next one would be right there. The one thing I do always caution you guys about is when we're looking at these options and the spread between the bid and the ask. Okay, if it's more than 10%, I'm probably not getting into that play. Not saying that you guys can't, but I like to just I like to slap the ask. I take whatever the ask price is. Gets me in quicker and it gets me out quicker when I sell as well. But that's why I like the stocks that have just that 5% or less difference. Because if we're out 10-20% when we jump in, we're down that much right off the bat. Okay, so you can try and fill a limit order. These things move fast usually, and you may not get in. So that's why I don't like to use the limit orders for these daily setups or scalps, but not saying you guys can't. Okay, so this is the double inside bar set on NEE, and make sure you guys are checking out the top 5 watch list as well. I guarantee you the double inside bar will be on there. They always will be. Okay, let's start getting into this now. Next up is Apple. Apple had a 2 up that finished red. Okay, and a 2 bar, like you see here, is a candle that only breaks one side of the previous candle. So in this case, we only broke the high side. It's a 2 up. Okay, but we did finish red on the day, so we call that a failed 2. And when we have these failed 2s and we're 2 up and red, I look for reversals. Okay, the probabilities are higher. And the other thing we look for is this time frame continuity. Day, week, month, quarterly, and yearly are all red. If you want that indicator, click on your indicator tab, type in time frame continuity, and your author is Board Rider B. If you want the little candlestick numbers that I've got at the bottom of the candles, I keep them on there for you guys when I'm doing these videos. You can type in candle type the strat, and the author is Crinklebind. So we will look for a 2 up, 2 down reversal. So tomorrow we're looking for a break below the wick of this candle, 2 up, 2 down reversal. We'll look for puts at $147.63. And again, like I told you before, the targets, pivots, magnitudes, whatever you want to call it, go to the bottom of the preceding wick. So here, here, and the next one would be here at the top of this candle because we have this gap, meaning there is no candle representing this little space here. So we take this as the next target. Okay, next up we've got Microsoft. Rob Smith would call this Mr. Softy. And again, the same setup. There's a lot of these setups on here today, guys. And again, you notice the time frame continuity is all one color. It's all to the downside. We had a 2 up, finished red. We're going to look for puts at $270.12. And we have 1 target, 2 target. And again, same thing on that third target. We have this gap fill right here. There's no candle in between this little space here. So our next third target would be at the top of the wick. Then the fourth one we take to the bottom of the wick. Okay. We'll move on to NVIDIA. NVDA. Again, same thing. Actually, NVIDIA should not be on here. This is a 2 down red. So we will scratch NVIDIA from that list. XOP. XOP, inside bar. Okay. I didn't talk about this on the double inside bar, but inside bars are one bars show consolidation within a ticker symbol or a stock, which means they don't break the high or the low of the previous bar. They're in a tightening range, and they act. Think of a spring. When a spring gets loaded and squished down, it gets tight. The range gets tighter, and when you release that spring, it explodes up or it explodes down. Okay, and that's what we're looking for in these inside bars. And when I first started becoming successful at trading options, it was because of inside bars. Okay, and that's all I used to look for. And then as I got really good at those, I started moving on to other things. Now this is a 3-1 setup, but it's still an inside bar here. And you can see we had this really, really nice 2-day run down. Okay, if I go back and look for another one, inside bar, break to the high side. We hit 1, 2, and probably a few more targets if I went back far enough. Inside bar right here, nice break to the downside. Inside bar here, we gapped up, but you would have made money if you would have played the gap. And I have a video on that, on how to play gaps, okay? And we use it off the 15 or 30-minute chart. Go check out that video. This inside bar turned into an outside bar. This inside bar had a nice breakdown. This inside bar had a 2-day run up, okay? So, in saying that, inside bars are a powerful setup. We've got a 2-1. We'll either look for a 2 up or a 2 down. We are at the top of this broadening formation that I've got drawn here, okay? Higher highs, higher highs, higher highs, and more higher highs. So when we have those, we look for that reversal to come back down. Okay, and it looks like XOP is at all-time highs. So I would be very cautious if we do run to the upside and we get into some profit here, if we hit new all-time highs, I would be, like I said, I'd be cautious and I'd be taking some profit there, okay? Because it can very quickly reverse on you. Okay, you can see this one. Here's the perfect example. We opened up at all-time highs, and then we quickly reversed down, okay? There was no break. So now we have this inside bar again. We can take calls at 160.105. We can take puts at 155.29. And again, targets at the bottom of the wicks and targets at the top of the wick. Someone asked me how I get the magnets. So if I click this horizontal ray and I just click, and it automatically clicks on the bottom of that wick, off on your left hand side over here, there's a little magnet. You can't see it on the screen, but it's just off to the left on TradingView. You can click on that and it'll put your lines exactly on the bottom of the wicks or the bottom of the bodies. Okay, so that's XOP. We'll move on to Alcoa Corporation. Had a 2 down that finished green, so the opposite of what we've been looking at recently. 2 down, we broke only the bottom of the previous candle, but again, we finished green. Okay, so I'm going to look for calls on this one at $63.72. Top of the wick is our profit target. Really good magnitude there. Really good chance for some profit on a $4 range from the top to the bottom. Okay, Antero Resources, and this one and Alcoa, I think, just again, watch the spread between the bid and the ask. If they're too far apart, I'm not interested in playing these. So again, inside bar on Antero, so we'll look at this one. Calls at 45.22, puts at 43.15. It's a tight range, guys. We have about a $2 range, high to low, on the day. And normally our candles are a bit bigger than that, okay? So this one was 34 to 36, almost $3 on this one. So it's a pretty tight inside bar. I'd look for some movement on Antero tomorrow. CAT usually has a big spread between the bid and the ask. Also has higher premiums. So a couple things that conflict with this one. We've got a 2 up that finished red. Okay, so we can look for puts on this one at 214.26. It's possible, okay? We look for these to be red for reversals, or at least I do. The thing we have going against us, we don't have full time frame continuity. Okay, so this week is green. Wouldn't take much for it to shift to red. Okay, but we also have a hammer candle, which is a bullish pattern. And it's not as bullish when it's red, but it's still a bullish pattern. The other thing we have going against us is we have already triggered this weekly trigger here to go long on the week. Okay, so some things going against us on CAT. CAT's not something I normally play, but there is a potential to make some money on it, okay? CL is Colgate-Palmolive, 3-1 setup, okay? Again, I love these setups. They're rare. They don't happen very often. If we go back and look in time, there's the last one was on March 2022. Outside bar, inside bar. And if you would have got in on this play and we would have had it on our watch list, what a big run this was. This would have been a multiple. You would have been 5x, 6x on that, at least 4x. Meaning you would have had like 400% gains on that. Okay, so we have another one here, 3-1 setup. We went through these earlier, so it's an outside bar, breaks both the high and the low of the previous candle, followed by an inside bar or a 1 bar, stays within the range of the previous candle. So a couple things going for us on this one, okay? We have a pink trigger line and a blue trigger line. The pink is the week, which we have already triggered, okay? The blue is the month, which we've tagged the top of. Okay? So if we trigger on the day, we are triggering on the week. If we hit targets on the day, we are triggering the month to go long on CL. Okay? So again, this is a very highly profitable play, or probably a probable profitable play, if that makes any sense. This one will for sure be on the top 5, okay? Just because we have these multiple triggers, and if we trigger the day, we trigger the week, we'll trigger the month, okay? We can take puts on this as well at 77.92. Magnitude is not great to hear. The other thing that we do have going against us, though, guys, is this day, week, and this month are all red. So watch Colgate either way. We can play it either way. Okay, Cisco, CSCO. Cisco has a 2-up that finished red. Take puts at 44.77. Full time frame continuity to the downside. We have triggered on the weekly, so again, be cautious or cognizant of that. CVX, 3-1 setup. Okay, you guys already know how much I like these 3-1 setups. The last one we had on CVX didn't materialize. This one materialized into an outside bar, it looks like. So 3-1, and then we gapped up here. And then we had a 3-1, and then a 1, and then outside bar. So if we go back a little further, another outside bar. Here's one. That's straight up 3-1 setup. 3-1. And then we come down and hit targets 1. And we hit target 2 on the second day, okay? So 3-1 setup, powerful plays. We'll look for this one as well to be a nice runner on CVX. And again, it's a tight inside bar. It's a tight range, which plays in our favor for this thing to move one direction or the other. So we can take calls at 178.13, puts at 174.94. Day, week, and month are red. We like to see the day and the week the same color. And again, if we go back on CVX, I don't have a broadening. Oh, I do have one right here. So guys, right here, this top is all-time highs at 180.88. So again, if this does trend up, I would be very cautious that we're taking profits somewhere in this range because we're looking at exhaustion risk, okay? Disney is up next, DIS. Disney has a 2-up that finished red. We can look for puts at 108. I'll get rid of these lines. 108.27 on Disney, full time frame to the downside. So that's in our favor as well. DraftKings has an inside bar, and again, this is a tight little inside bar. Okay, so it provides us a nice setup. So we can take calls at $13.84, puts at $13.28 on DraftKings. Dollar Tree, not something I normally have on here, guys. But we've got a 1-2 down that finished green. So this is what we would call a Rev Strat, a 1-2-2 reversal to the upside. So we'll look for calls at 162.55 on Dollar Tree. Again, watch the bid ask, watch the premiums. DWAC is another one. So this one was great to play probably about 6 months ago. The spreads between the bid and the ask were tight. They're not so much anymore, but we'll look at this one. It's got a double inside bar, and again, as I said before, these double inside bars are powerful. If we go back and look to see when the last one was on DWAC, there isn't one. So this is the first one looks like we've had. I don't see one there. So double inside bar, 2 days of consolidation, and a tightening range, okay? So we'll look for calls at $43.99 and puts at $42.51 on this. Again, watch the spread between the bid and the ask on DWAC. That probably won't be on my top 5, but it'll be something that I'm letting you guys know to pay attention to or keep an eye on. Okay, Ford Motor Company, 2-up red. Full time frame to the downside. Let's look for puts at $13.40 on that one. Next up, we've got IBM. How are we doing for time? IBM, we've got a 2-up that finished red. Okay, same scenario that we've been going through almost this whole time. 2 up red, puts at 138.52. Next up, we've got MU, that's Micron Technology, 2 up red again, puts at 72.56. We've got a fairly good magnitude to the downside. It's about 50 cents, which is more than enough on an option play. Netflix is up next. Netflix, again, 2 up red, full time frame to the downside, puts at 191.66. We have triggered on the weekly, though, so make sure we're watching that. Nike, 2 up red, puts at 117.52, triggered to the weekly already. And as you can see here, we have triggered for the monthly. So it's very possible we just could see a continuation. And then we're going to start running into what we call a machine gun pivot, or a pivot machine gun, PMG, where we've got higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. And then this thing just drops. Okay, comes back through all these ranges and takes them all out. Boom, 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 boom. Pivot machine gun. Okay, SLB is up next. Inside bar, followed by or preceded by an outside bar. 3-1 setup. We can look for calls at 47.33, puts at 46. XEL. This is a 3-1 that I would have called out yesterday. We did go for a little run, didn't hit our targets, and then it reversed on us. So what we've got now is a 1-2-2 reversal that we're looking for. XEL has been following the top of this broadening formation. Okay, it's been just following, bouncing off of this trend line all the way through for the last, looks like 3 weeks or so. So a couple things that we've got here. Inside bar, followed by a 2 down. And we will look for a 2 up on a 1-2-2 Rev Strat reversal. And we do have a hammer candle here, which is a bullish pattern. The day, the week, and the month are red, though. Okay, so that is the one thing we have going against us. XOM. XOM has an inside bar, so we can look for calls at 98.71, puts at 96.62. This is ExxonMobil, and same thing, guys. Looks like we're at all-time highs for Exxon. And again, as Sarah Strat Sniper would talk about exhaustion risk, be cautious when we hit this trigger or this target up here. We are coming into all-time high territory, and you are at exhaustion risk. So we can look for a 1-2 up or a 1-2 down on this one. Okay, so calls at 98.71, puts at $96.62 on XOM. Guys, that's a list. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you're watching for the top 5 list that will be out if it's not already. It will be out very soon. If you guys like what I'm putting out here, give me a thumbs up. Make sure you guys are subscribing and hitting that bell so you get these sent to you directly when I send them out. And make sure you guys are following me on Twitter. And until the next one, guys, bye-bye.